Got me falling right back.
Hello guys and welcome back. Today I have a pretty exciting list to share with you. So I started out kind of trying to make a Dimir discard list and got a little frustrated with it and gave up, and I started kind of altering the list off. I just started with the basis of Thought Erasure and was like, you know what, how is it going to work with artifacts? So here we go. This is a control deck, but it's very unique. So it works in a way that is kind of hard to just sum up in 3 or 4 words. So I'm going to have to kind of explain it through showing the deck. So we run 3 Fountain of Renewals because, you know, pesky aggro decks are like 50% of the games we play against. 2, the Elderspells. I've already explained how good this card is. I don't really need to say more. If you want to know, I'm sure you can find many videos explaining it, some of my older ones included. We run 4 Thought Erasures, 4 Tyrant Scorn, because it is a very well-rounded early removal card. I kind of like it over Cast Down and stuff, just because anytime we need 2 mana removal, it's generally for early game threats. We run 2 Thaumatic Compasses to help us ramp and to help us find lands, 4 Treasure Maps because we need to filter to find what we need, 2 Cry of the Carnariums because of aggressive decks. We run 2 Ritual of Soots because it's pretty much required in the meta right now for the decks I've been running up against, 3 Vraska's Contempts, and here's where it gets fun. We run 2 Karn, Scion of Urza. You all know what this card does, so I don't need to explain it. We run 2 Karn the Great Creators. Now this card is pretty fun. Basically, it allows us to choose a artifact we own from our sideboard and stick it into our hand. So you create a sideboard. It's kind of however you want to create your sideboard. You just create it to tech how you want to tech. I'll show you mine, but it's not really finished. It's just kind of there to be there. We run 2 Liliana Dreadhorde General. Kind of a no-brainer. She is probably one of the best planeswalkers in the game. We run 2 Tezzeret, Master of the Bridges, which allows us to cast our artifacts for much cheaper. So pretty much when we play this deck, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get to 6 mana, play Tezzeret and another planeswalker on the same turn. So we usually play Tezzeret, and then we drop any of the other planeswalkers or artifacts that we have along with him. So he allows us to +2 him to gain life and deal damage to our opponent, depending on how many artifacts we have. We can -3 him to return an artifact card from our graveyard to our hand, or we can -8 him to put all artifacts from the top 10 cards of our library onto the battlefield, which we will not be using too much in this deck. And then we have a splash of lands to make it work, but since we're running a heavy bit of artifacts, we're okay. We get away with running quite a bit of tech lands. So we run 1 Arch of Orazca, we run a Detection Tower, a Field of Ruin, 1 Karn's Bastion to help put tokens on our planeswalkers, 1 Mobilized District, just in case a game gets dragged out and we need something that can attack, and we run a Zhalfirin Void. Now, if we head over to the sideboard, I'm pretty much I got some tech stuff in here. Like I've got 2 Sphinx of the Guild packs against control decks. I've got 3 Meteor Golems because removal. I've got 1 Traxxas Scourge of Krug for mid-range in case I need to bring out some blockers. 1 Helm of the Host in case we're playing something that allows us to get away with losing the tempo to play it. 1 Skittering Surveyor, just in case we need to draw into some more lands. A Crucible of Worlds. I don't know, I thought, what the heck, if we come up against any land destruction, you never know. 2 Chaos Wands, in case we're playing against a deck with some very interesting cards in it that benefit us. 2 Dowsing Draggers, to kind of, if we need to be able to buff our tokens and draw the game out by putting blockers out to stall. And 2 Amulet of Safekeepings to shut down token decks. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to get into a few games. Not going to be able to show too many because these games take a long time, and I like to keep these videos short and sweet for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy.
So we've got a pretty good land base in our starting hand. Fountain of Renewal, a treasure map, 1 and 2 drops, along with 2-drop removal for anything he plays. We're going to keep this hand. Looks like we are up some sort of amass. So far that's all we know about what we're playing against. We see 1 amass card in a red. We see black. Okay, so this is going to be an aggro amass deck. Probably a bunch of creatures that die and deal damage to us, etc., etc. We've played against a few of these lists since the new expansion came out. This has been a pretty common list I've run up against. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Midnight Reaper so that he can't gain too much card advantage over us. Our opponent drops one of the new planeswalkers. We'll throw down the Thaumatic Compass because we don't need the mana for anything else. So we're under a bit of pressure here. We're really hoping to draw into some sort of board clear. Debating on playing one of our planeswalkers, although we don't know if it's worth sacrificing our card draw for it. So we're adding up the damage our opponent can do and seeing if he can have lethal. We feel safe to wait one more turn. Leave 3 open to activate our Thaumatic Compass to make sure we hit our land drop next turn. So we're in a pretty bad spot, but we're trying to find a way to get out of it. Luckily we have some life gain available to us through Tezzeret. And at this point, probably making the token is worth using our treasure tokens for. We didn't want to make him sacrifice 2 creatures because it really would only save us 2 damage. Whereas our token will also save us 2 damage and we draw a card, so it was the better value play out of the 2 options. So we're going to lose one of our planeswalkers at bare minimum. Our opponent was having a really hard time deciding how he wanted to attack, so I was giving him a little bit of encouragement there. We'll create another zombie. We still have Vraska's Contempt open. We also have our Orazca flipped, so we can tap one of his Rekindling Phoenixes out and Vraska the other one. I feel like our opponent should have went all in on that attack on our Planeswalker, but that is not what he decided to do. So his misplay will allow us to gain more tempo in this game, and I think he realizes that, so he concedes. Again, pretty good land based in our starting hand. Our opponent will lean down to 5. Not happy with his hand, and we'll take the free win, why not? Again, decent land base in our starting hand. We can't complain. If we draw into another black, we have a Cry set up, which is pretty good against red. 2 land drops from red without a play is a little concerning. We're not sure what we're playing against. Oh, and then we see a lightning strike. So, looks like our opponent is just going to burn face over and over again. Some sort of, maybe like just a straight burn deck with like the 0/4 wall guy and that deals 1 to you. Who knows? So Karn, who is like a glorified land fetcher, but that's fine, lets us hit our land drops.
Down to the ground, your dragon is constantly.
We wanted to get a token out just in case he had any haste creatures in hand. We are pretty low on life, but we do have the new planeswalker in hand who gains us life for our artifacts. So getting our tokens generated is very important. We don't know if we want to play her yet. We'd rather probably try to survive 1 more turn. Just because if we survive 1 more turn, then we can gain the extra life from our tokens off of her. Yep, we're not going to let Steamkin spiral out of control, so we are going to take care of that. Anything with life gain is a good draw for us right now. Make sure we manually tap these lands so it doesn't tap the ones we don't want it to. 4 life at this point in the game is pretty good. We get to play Karn for free. Grab Meteor Golem. So it turns out Meteor Golem for 3 mana is a pretty powerful play. Yeah, at this point we feel safe taking the damage. We can gain all that life back from our Planeswalker. Our opponent realizes that and concedes. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the list. This list is not a 100% finished list, so it's not the end-all be-all of what this deck is capable of. It's just something I've been playing around with and having some fun with. But I think it has some potential in the right hands and with the right amount of time taken to tech it out. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, enjoy life, and I will see you next time.